Friends, in this training module we will cover how to set up users who are authorized to access the back office system, including the virtual terminal. The user area is located under Settings and Utilities and is accessible to users with administrator security clearance. When a merge account is first created, the system automatically creates an administrator user profile with a randomly generated password, which can be changed easily enough in this section. Let's jump right into a user account. One of the most important things to remember about user accounts is you don't need to set up very many of them. You'll see many in this account as this is a demo account with many administrators using the system, but you won't need anywhere near this many when setting up a merchant. The majority of clients only need a handful of authorized user accounts. You want user accounts for the business owner, key managers, and perhaps a marketing and auditor account. Only one clerk account is required since the vast majority of your line level employees will share the same clerk login and password. We're going to show you how to set up a clerk correctly in the POS Clerks page a little later in this video. To add a new user, you simply click the plus sign here. Since we've got a lot of users set up, I'm going to access one of the accounts here and just show you the settings in the back. You can see here I'm setting up my user profile with Administrator Security Clearance, which is the highest level clearance in the system. This means I can access every page and utility across the back office. We have other security clearances such as Manager, which can access most pages except the most sensitive functions. Users with marketing clearance can only access the marketing modules. Users with auditor clearance can only access certain reports for reconciliation purposes. And users with clerk clearance can only access the virtual terminal. For more detailed description of user clearance, just click the question mark beside the clearance setting. I'll give you full details on each level of access. We recommend you get all the information of the individual contact numbers. This really helps with the support if we need it. You'll notice here we have the ability to have it says email recon report daily. If we check this off, we would get sent an email every day of what happened on the prior day. So if you want your users to have that ability, make sure you check off email reconciliation report daily. Same thing applies with the fraud monitoring report. And if you want more information, again, click these question marks. They have full details on what they're all about. Down here, we want to make sure that you're in the right time zone because that'll affect different promotions that you run. And for multiple locations, in this case we only have one, you would decide what location those individuals are from. The clerk and manager ID is very important. The manager clerk field is one of the most important fields in the user profile for security validation. If you decide to enable clerk IDs for linking specific employees to specific transactions, and would like to require manager level validation when the load gift or load value function is used, then enter an ID here below for your authorized users. You will see in the user table here we only have one clerk account set up. That's all that's required in this case because we only have one location, and that'll allow your staff to, if we were a multiple location operator, that means we would need one user account for each clerk location. Your employees will share the same login and ID password to access the virtual terminal upon sign-in and be identified by the clerk ID number. In order to set up clerk IDs, we use the POS Clerks page, located under Settings and Utilities again. To add a clerk, simply just hit the New Clerk button, create a PIN number, 4 digits, 5 digits, whatever you like, and put their name. Here we have one location, so where Kelly's only working at the main location, we don't have to select a second location. Click Home. And we're going to come back here under locations. Just want to show you something quickly. We have one location here. We could add another location if we were other businesses in our chain. But let's just look at this account here. Down here, you're going to want to, if I mentioned earlier, if you wanted staff managers to validate gift loads or load value, here it's going to require first clerk ID on the terminal. They're going to have to punch in that PIN number. And managers are going to be required to punch in a password if value is loaded to the account. So again, you want to make sure those two are checked off. Lastly, within the Locations tab and setting up the clerk ID and the manager password, you want to make sure that you visit the help text box here so you can see the clerk ID, how it applies to each application. If you're using a credit card terminal or a POS integration, how this is all going to work. So make sure you visit the help text again. That's it for this session.